Star Trek 4 is finally happening, and it's shaping up to be the most ambitious Kelvin timeline movie yet. We're talking a brand new story, a new director, and the potential return of some massive Hollywood stars. Today, we're diving deep into everything we know about Star Trek 4, especially the rumored roles for Chris Hemsworth and the one and only Gal Gadot. What if I told you the original plan for this movie was a mind-bending time travel adventure that would have completely changed the game? You're going to want to stick around for this, so let's set the stage. The last time we saw the Kelvin crew was back in 2016 with Star Trek Beyond. Since then, the sequel has been trapped in what can only be described as development limbo. Directors came and went, scripts were written and rewritten, and for a while there, it looked like this movie might never see the light of day. But now, Paramount has officially greenlit Star Trek 4, targeting a 2026 release, and they've brought in Toby Haynes, the director behind the brilliant Star Wars series Andor, to take the helm. This is huge news. Haynes has a proven track record of delivering character-driven, gritty, and visually stunning sci-fi. His involvement alone tells us that Paramount is serious about making this movie something special. The script is being penned by Seth Grahame-Smith, known for works like the Lego Batman movie and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. An interesting mix, right? It suggests we could be in for a film that balances epic action with sharp wit and maybe even a touch of the unexpected. Now, the official logline from Paramount is that this will be the final chapter for the Kelvin crew, an origin story set decades before the 2009 film that will see Chris Pine as Kirk and Zachary Quinto as Spock finally meet. This has caused a lot of confusion, and frankly, it feels a bit like a misdirect. An origin story that's also the final chapter. It doesn't quite add up. My theory? This might be a clever way of describing a story that involves some serious timeline shenanigans, perhaps showing us a glimpse of the prime timeline or an alternate past before bringing our crew together for one last ride. This brings us to the most exciting part of the puzzle, Chris Hemsworth. Remember him as George Kirk, Captain Kirk's father, who heroically sacrificed himself in the opening moments of the 2009 Star Trek. It was an incredible, emotional start to the entire series. Well, the original plan for Star Trek 4, way back in 2016, was to bring him back. The plot, codenamed the father and son story, would have involved Chris Pine's Captain Kirk meeting his father through the wonders of time travel. Imagine that reunion. The son who grew up without a father, now is Starfleet captain himself, getting the chance to stand side by side with the man whose legacy he has lived under his entire life. The emotional weight of that story would have been massive. Unfortunately, that version of the film fell apart due to contract negotiations and scheduling conflicts. But here's the thing, in Hollywood, good ideas never truly die. With a new creative team and a fresh start, could they be revisiting this concept? It's entirely possible. Bringing Hemsworth back, even for a pivotal cameo, would be a genius move. He's a much bigger star now than he was in 2009, and his return would create a powerful, full-circle moment for the franchise. It would tie the entire four-movie arc together, focusing on the themes of family, legacy, and sacrifice that have always been at the heart of Star Trek. He wouldn't be the villain. He'd be the emotional core of the film, a ghost from the past that Kirk must confront to truly understand his own destiny as a captain. Now, let's talk about the other huge name being thrown around, Gal Gadot. For years, rumors have swirled that Paramount was eyeing her for a major role in the Star Trek universe. With her incredible screen presence and action hero status from Wonder Woman, she would be a perfect fit for a powerful new character. The most persistent rumor is that she's being considered for the main villain of Star Trek 4, and this is not just any villain role. We're talking about a character with real depth and complexity, not just a generic antagonist bent on destruction. Think about the best Star Trek villains, Khan, the Borg Queen, General Chong. They were formidable not just because of their power, but because of their ideology. They challenged the Federation's very principles. If Gal Gadot is cast, expect her to play a charismatic, intelligent, and dangerous leader. Perhaps she's the head of a powerful alien species we've never encountered before, one with a legitimate grievance against the Federation. Maybe her civilization was negatively impacted by the timeline alteration in the first film, and she's seeking a form of cosmic justice. This would create a fascinating moral dilemma for Kirk and the crew. A villain you can almost sympathize with is always more compelling. Imagine scenes with Gadot's character going toe-to-toe with Chris Pine's Kirk, not just in battle, but in a battle of wits and philosophy. Her presence would elevate the stakes and give our heroes a truly worthy adversary for their final mission. Casting an actress of her caliber signals that this villain will be central to the story, a character who will leave a lasting impact on the crew and the audience. She could be a Romulan commander, a leader of a species from the Andromeda Galaxy, or something entirely new. Whatever the role, her involvement would be a massive win for the film. So let's put all the pieces together. We have a final chapter for the Kelvin crew, a new director known for prestige sci-fi, and a script from a writer who can blend humor and high-stakes action. We have the very real possibility of Chris Hemsworth returning as George Kirk in a poignant time travel storyline that would provide emotional closure for Captain Kirk. And we have the electrifying prospect of Gal Gadot joining the cast as a complex and formidable new villain, challenging the crew in ways they've never been challenged before. This combination is a recipe for something truly special. A movie that isn't just a nostalgic farewell tour, but an epic, emotionally resonant sci-fi adventure that honors the legacy of what came before while pushing the story in a bold new direction. It could explore themes of destiny versus choice, the past shaping the present, and the sacrifices required of a true leader. The potential dynamic between Pine, Hemsworth, and Gadot is what really makes this exciting. It's a clash of titans, both in terms of character and star power. Will this all come to pass? We'll have to wait and see as more official announcements are made. The Hollywood machine is always in motion, and things can change. But right now, the future of Star Trek on the big screen looks brighter than it has in years. This isn't just another sequel, it feels like an event. A final voyage that aims to be the biggest and best of the series. I, for one, am ready to warp into this new adventure. What do you think about these potential roles? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Star Trek 4, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates and analysis on all your favorite movies and shows. We've got a lot more content coming your way. Until next time, live long and prosper.